Alright guys, so we're going to demonstrate the cardiovascular exam. Before we start, I'd like to show you, there we go, the stethoscope. Now this stethoscope has a diaphragm and an actual bell. So you actually have to turn, and if you look, you'll see this is the diaphragm, the broad base, and the bell is the smaller base. Now, in order for you to hear with the bell, you have to turn. And when you're doing your cardiovascular exam for your competency, we expect you to do that. We expect you to turn for the diaphragm, so you hear, and when you put it into your ears, this is clean.
Yes, it is.
You're gonna, if when you do that, you can hear it, you know you're on the diaphragm. Then you twist it for the bell. Okay, and this one has a little groove in, so you kind of know when you're switching from the diaphragm and the bell, and you actually see the hole is completely open when you're at the bell versus when you're at the diaphragm, it's completely closed off. So here's the diaphragm, here's the bell, okay, and you're going to listen through all 5 cardiac valves with both the diaphragm and the bell. Okay, now some of you have a cardiovascular stethoscope that doesn't have a visible bell. You have a built-in bell. So in that case, you're gonna press firmly on the chest for the diaphragm and lightly for the bell. And you're gonna do that through all 5 valves again, okay? When you're doing the exam, we expect for you to actually go through all 5 valves, okay, with both the diaphragm and the bell. Now, if you do not go with the diaphragm and the bell, you will lose points. If you just do one, you lose points. If you do the diaphragm first and listen, and then you do not flip your stethoscope to switch to the bell, you'll still lose 5 points, because then we know you're not hearing anything. Okay? So I'm going to demonstrate listening through the valves with the diaphragm first and then with the bell. Okay? If you remember from class, maybe Dr. Leal or Dr. Abuhar had different sayings, but if you can use whichever mnemonic works for you. All physicians eagerly take money, and we know right second intercostal space is the aortic, left second intercostal space is your pulmonic, left third intercostal space, and this is left of the sternal border. Okay, left of the sternal border is Erb's point, and then you come down 4th to 5th. There are some books that say 4th, some books say 5th. Intercostal space, left of the sternal border. This is the tricuspid, and then you go mid-clavicular line all the way down 5th intercostal space. If someone has is heavy set and is heavy in the chest area, you can ask them to just lift their breast so that you can get to that spot. And also when you're palpating the point of maximal impulse. Remember that your point of maximum impulse is 7 to 9 centimeters left of the sternal border, okay? And if you can correlate that, it is actually about 5th intercostal space, about mid-clavicular line also. So we're gonna start listening now to the valves. And you should listen for your competency. I know some of you are thinking about time and you want to rush through time, but you should listen for about 2 seconds in each area. So I'm going to start with my diaphragm, and I'm going to tell my patient, I'm going to listen now to the valves of your heart. I'm going to start with the aortic valve. I'm going to feed from my second intercostal space, right of the sternal border, and this is my aortic valve. Then I'm going to go second intercostal space, left of the sternal border, and this is my pulmonic valve. Then I'm going to go third intercostal space, left of the sternal border, which is Erb's point. Then I'm going to go 4th to 5th intercostal space, left of the sternal border, which is the tricuspid valve. And I'm going to ask Dr. Leal to kindly lift her boob for me. And I'm going to go mid-clavicular line, about 5th intercostal space, and this is my mitral valve. I'm going to visibly switch now to the bell, and I can see it's the bell because it's open, and I'm going to do the same thing. 2nd intercostal space, left sternal border, aortic, right sternal border, aortic. Now, 2nd intercostal space, left sternal border, pulmonic. 3rd intercostal space, left sternal border, Erb's point. 4th intercostal space, 4th to 5th intercostal space, left sternal border, tricuspid. And then, I'm going to ask her to lift her boob again, midclavicular line, about 5th intercostal space, and this is going to be my mitral valve. Okay, so now I've listened through all 5 valves with my diaphragm and my bell. Okay, now the other part of the cardiovascular exam is to check the point of maximum impulse. And when you're doing that, remember you're going to have your patient lay back. Okay, you're going to have her go in the left lateral decubitus position. Okay. We're going to do the point of maximum impulse first. Left lateral decubitus position. Turn all the way. I'm going to come and reach across her. Put your hand behind your head here. Okay. And then I'm going to reach over her. I'm going to go about 7 to 9 centimeters left of the sternal border, kind of measuring for the midclavicular line. I'm going to ask her to lean forward so that I can actually have her heart closer to her chest wall. And I'm going to palpate for the point of maximum impulse. Again, 7 to 9 centimeters left of the sternal border. Okay? I'm going to palpate for that, and I'm going to go, well, I can feel your point of maximum impulse. It is non-displaced. Okay? And that's all you really have to say. Now the other part is checking the pulses. Okay? You're going to check, and you're going to do radial. You can do both at the same time. It's not like the karates where you have to actually do one at a time. And then you're going to do dorsal pedis. So I'm going to go on top. And posterior tibialis inside. Your posterior tibialis is not outside the ankle, but inside. Okay? And you should be able to palpate all those. Dr. Lal, anything you want to add?
That's complete.
This is your complete cardiovascular exam. We're going to be bringing you several short videos in all the systems. Thank you.